right now we're in an era where everybody wants to operate off of convenience. And the thing is, like, if you want to operate on convenience, then you better expect to not have a great life, to not have a high-level lifestyle, to not make a high-level amount of money. The idea and thought process of making a lot of money and becoming wealthy is so far-fetched for everybody that they've allowed it to become part of their normal lifestyle of, like, I'm just going to coast. What's up, everyone? We are back for another episode of Impactpreneurs with your hosts, Sean Alexander and
Davrick Lyles.
Lyles Davrick.
Man, we're just rolling through it.
Yeah, today's been an interesting day.
Busy.
Very.
It feels like a Friday, but it's not.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
But I am ready to go back to Dallas.
Yes.
I'll say that to myself every day.
You might be a Dallas Cowboy fan one day.
I used to be back in, like, Deion Sanders and Smith and all that. Emmitt Smith. Like, dude, those were the days where being a Cowboy fan was legit.
Well, because I'm older. It was Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, Ed Too Tall Jones.
That's just an old
Roger
bag.
Staubach. Yeah, I'm old. Let's real quick. I want to talk about this accountability. People being accountable to their actions, words, and time. Time. And I've been guilty of this. It happens. Like today, I was running behind.
You know what bothers me? You know what? I'm actually glad we were talking about this. And I was going to bring this up to you before off air, and I completely forgot. But there's one specific thing about accountability that I have a pet peeve on over anything else that would fall into the category of being accountable is not being accountable for your shortcomings. That irritates me more than anything else. When you fall short, when you're supposed to deliver, when you're supposed to do something, when you've committed to do something and you don't deliver, or you don't show up, or you half-ass, and then you have a reason of why you didn't show up. You have some kind of fucked up bullshit excuse of why you didn't show up, and you don't want to take accountability and full responsibility for it and actually just own it to be a man or a woman. You just want to kick back and have some kind of excuse, or I was in my feelings and woe is me and fuck your feelings, kind of like not showing up and not delivering, and to not be accountable for it, not owning why you're not showing up, or have an excuse every single time.
You're talking showing up in the essence of delivering the product or the goods or the services, and
or you as a person,
in person,
just you. Like if you like,
dude, that's so common down here.
If you cut, like you and I meeting at this like we both came in, you saw that my mind was going a million miles an hour, but I still showed up and I was ready to go. Mentally ready, checked in. Okay, Davrick, let's do this. Like even something that small where people would label as, oh, it's so little, why is it such a big deal? Well, the thing is that when it comes to accountability and business and life, there's no room or margin for errors on stuff like this. You can't just decide that one day I don't fucking feel like waking up. I don't feel like getting up and doing X, Y, and Z because I'm in my feelings.
Right. Well, and you're accountable to somebody else too. So your feelings and mood affects the outcome of the show. If you come here you're twisted and you're mentally fried or something happened. But I think what's good about what you just said is and I don't know if it's a men thing, and I want to say that, but I find that guys have a tendency it's easier for us to shift and compartmentalize stuff. I'm not saying it's a sex thing or male thing, but I've noticed that for me, I can have a real bad day or something can happen, and I'm going to say, fuck it, I got to go and be here. Now, it's still affecting me, but I can temporarily shield it and go here. Now, when I'm done, I'm going to be like, I got to deal with this.
No, but
do you see what I'm saying?
But you're accurate because look, the reality is women are more emotional than most men are. And so by default, they'll sit in that emotion a lot longer than most men will. Men can shut it off for a moment, take care of what's more important at that time period, and then go back to it when they have to.
Doesn't mean it doesn't affect me.
No, it's just women are more emotional beings, which is why men need women.
That's a good statement. And I hate the fact when people say, I don't need anyone. Does that bother you? To a point.
To a point, because I say that a lot. Because a lot of people think like, "Oh, Sean, no," because I don't. Because of the way I grew up and my whole life and my backstory, like I don't need anybody. Like I could go conquer on my own because I had to do it my whole life for 36 years. But as far as the context that you're speaking
you're
of,
old.
I'm 36 going like 120, bro. So yeah, we can
But
say
don't you? I'm sorry to interrupt. But I think you can go a lot farther with somebody by your side.
I 100% believe that. I believe if you have the right partner, a couple can go 10 times further than any individual human being can, no matter what. Because if you have a couple, two people that are on the same wavelength, same vibration, same energy, same vision, same drive, there really is not much that could get in the way at that point. I mean, even as an individual myself, there's nothing really that can get in my way with where I've been and where I'm going now. But still, if I had two of me, I'll get to where I want to go faster, basically.
Yeah.
And that's why there's that phrase power couple. I think it gets used loosely a lot, but if it's used under the right pretenses, yeah, a man and a woman can go very far, because the man, there's the area that a guy covers, and then there's areas that a woman covers, and they both need each other to balance out the weaknesses, and then together, so basically you have no weaknesses and you have double the strengths.
And how I got to say this, how valuable is the you may not like this phrase, under promise, over deliver.
No, I do that myself.
Okay, so why is it that people are afraid to do that, and they say, "Oh, I'll get it done," and they don't deliver? This town, one thing I've noticed with people here, dude. Okay, now I know I've had some latency on projects. We both have, dealing with something that we're working on, but that's not because we're sitting there watching TV. Okay, but still, it's an excuse. But one thing, my pet peeve is, if you say you're going to do something, do it within a time frame. But don't tell me you're going to do all this stuff and then give me a pin. I'm going to give you a box of pins, this table, the TV, and the stands and the lights, and you show up with a pin. Dude, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. And I've seen that over and over.
You and I just dealt with that.
We just dealt with that. And it's like, no, I'm not hearing back. No. And the other thing I've noticed here is people don't respect your time. And they'll I don't even want to talk about, they don't respect your time here.
You know what it is? People, there's just a lack of mentality of high performing right now.
But just basic level communication 101. If you say you're going to get together with somebody on the weekend, and I have to call you to confirm or message you to confirm, and then you say, "Oh, I can't make it because I'm sick," or "I can't do this." Oh, why didn't you just tell me?
Earlier.
Why do you wait until the last minute?
There's a lack of awareness when it comes to responsibility, accountability, and there's a lack of awareness when it comes to the necessity of it as well.
Right.
Because people will play, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Well, yeah, it actually is. But and that's where I talk about where, like, when it comes to like high performers and low performers, is because like people that are like that, they're like that in every other category of their life. Maybe not in one or two things because they're passionate about something, like they love to work out, for example, or they love church day, for example, so they're going to show up no matter what. But then the other areas, they're not going to show up. And those people that do not deliver, they're not high performing in every category of their life. And it's not a big deal to them either.
And not that it necessarily happened, but I'm just giving examples of situations where down here, even people from Seattle come here and they'll say, "Hey, look, we got to meet this day." I said, "Great." And then they're like, "Hey, did you book a It's like, dude, you're the one that wanted to meet with me. Now you want me to do all the work to figure it out? No, you figure it out. And then, I'm available because you told me you were coming. If you tell me, Sean, like, remember that day we trained? You said, "Bro, we're going to train." Yeah. No, that was one off. We just did it right there. But anytime you say you're going to be somewhere and I need to meet you, I show up, man. Mm-hmm. I show up unless I'm in a car accident or something like that happens. But it's like, no, I got to be accountable to Sean because that's where my value is. I show up.
It's integrity.
Yeah.
That's where the difference between people doing what they say they're going to do, whether it's convenient or not. And right now we're in an era where everybody wants to operate off of convenience. And the thing is, like, if you want to operate on convenience, then you better expect to not have a great life, to not have a high level lifestyle, to not make a high level amount of money. The idea and thought process of making a lot of money and becoming wealthy is so far-fetched for everybody that they've allowed it to become part of their normal lifestyle of, like, I'm just going to coast at this level.
God, I can't do that.
And so when you say that you don't want to hang out with people like that because you want to hang out with people that actually really want to go somewhere, and there's very few far between, you're all of a sudden the enemy and the fucking bad guy because they think that you think you're better than them. When it's, no, I just want more, and I can't afford to be around people that don't want to perform at the same level.
You know, that's so true. And I use that terminology that you love. You're fired. I'm done.
Fucking fired.
And then I get these responses. Well, I didn't know this and this. If you'd have told me, no. I'm not chasing anybody.
I'm not explaining that either. They like, why don't you tell? There's no room for a simple explanation when something is maybe not necessarily so common sense, but enough sense to be like, okay, let me think this for a second before I give some stupid ass answer of like, oh, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to sound like a fool?
Can you own your shit? Like, I've made mistakes. Like, oh, dude, I forgot to call you back. That's totally on me. Right. But the house I built is 30 minutes from the strip north. 25 if I'm hauling ass. Right. Which I do. But if somebody says they're going to be somewhere and I drive down there and then they're like, and I say, hey, I'm on my way. Oh, yeah, I can't make it. It's like, okay, you know what? First time, okay. Second time, I'm a fool. So I give people one chance because if it happens again, they're fired. Done. My time's more valuable than that.
Not just that, but that just means they're not going to be reliable in other areas too. And if it comes to a business deal, you know you're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
Like, that's really where it boils down to when it comes to the associations of people that are willing to be accountable, responsible, own their shit. Because at the end of the day, when you put all that into one bubble, it comes out to reliability. And if you're not reliable, I don't even want you anywhere near me.
Oh man, I
can't trust you.
It's crazy in this town, man. I mean, I love Vegas, but that's one thing that people just are so unaccountable to. And it's funny because I book some appointments with certain people here, and they keep calling to confirm. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there, bro. Well, yeah, okay, make sure we're still on for yeah. And then I'd show up and they're like, oh, hey. And I wanted to ask them, why did you ask me like 4 times? But now I see why. Because a lot of these people flake off. They don't have a calendar. They don't write it down, right? I have to text message myself messages and notes so I can stay accountable because I'll forget. You came in here on fire. You were so busy with your enterprises, right? And your corporations and stuff you were doing. You came in here, you got your 2 phones, you're doing this. I'm like, okay, Sean's busy. I'm going to make sure my partner's ready to go. We're going to meet at the middle, but you were dialed, and as soon as you were on it.
Yeah.
You just jumped on like, man, this guy was like over here, now he's here because you're going 100 miles an hour.
Well, because I'll tell you what, and I do this in my relationships also is, I'm very keen on presence. It's definitely something that I pride myself in is my awareness of my presence, because I refuse to be that guy that someone will ever say to me, "You're not present. You're not here." Like, no.
Physically, but mentally, you're Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah,
you're somewhere else.
I'm not okay with that, and I deal with a lot of people with that specifically already as is in my business and my clients and whatnot. For me, it's too important to always be present, to be on 100% of the time, every single day. And I stress that for clients that come to me for coaching on high performance, because Dan Pena talks about this. If you want to be a high performer, if you want to be respected at a certain degree, you have to be on at all times. There is no margin for errors.
That guy's I love that guy.
And for me, anyone that's known me long enough, and even in my relationships, they'll tell you, this guy doesn't know how not to be on. And I know most people say, oh, we're only human. first of all, I hate
that.
hate that term. I'm only human. As soon as you say, I posted about this one. As soon as you say, I'm only human, or we're only human, you have now officially purchased a cop out and a reason to not show up.
An excuse.
An excuse.
A freaking excuse.
You purchased it. And that means you're going to fall short every single time you use that term.
But you can see that coming from people, the first words out of their mouth.
Right.
They're securing themselves. They're okay. Well, I'm only human. So no shit. You're fucking human. We all know that. Stop using an excuse before you try.
Right. And for me, that's what I said, like for me, being present, look, yes. Can it be tiring? Yes. Can it be exhausting? Oh, absolutely. It can be exhausting. But at the end of the day, if you want to stand out and you want people to look at you in a different way where they know that you're that one reliable person no matter what the hell was to happen, you have to be on, you have to be present at all times. And and here's the thing, it's not something like for me it's clockwork, but I still make sure I still put conscious effort into it every single day to be present 100% on.
You know what's so good about this is like a lot of times as fast as we're running, we'll book these meetings, these podcasts weeks out. We already know, I already know you're going to be there, right? Now you can say, oh yeah, well that's because you guys have a show. If you book 6 shows out, 6 shows, whether it be 6 weeks, 6 months, it's in my calendar. You know without a doubt, unless I tell you in advance, hey, something happened, we got to catch a flight, we got another business engagement. But you knew I was going to be here today. You didn't have to question where is Daverick going to show up. Now we were flying to get here, right? We was trying to get here early, but that's what I like about you. I know you're there. You're always going to deliver. I'm not worried about your mindset.
Yeah,
and so
it's too important for me.
Well, but I know that.
And I spend, here's the thing, more than half my life, because I just got my shit together after I got sober. So when I was 21, so more than half my life, I always fell short. I was not delivering. I was not showing up. I was not present. And because I went through that and I was that piece of shit for 50% of my life, I made a decision to never be that again. I made a decision that at any given time, under any circumstances, I'll be that one person that anybody can rely on. And now at the same time, I'll be that one person that they can rely on to tell the truth every single time. Doesn't matter if it's as cold as it gets. And it's just something that I like to pride myself in because it's too important for me, for my people to know that they can look to me for whatever.
That reminds me of that movie where Jack Nicholson says, you can't handle the truth. He's right. A lot of people can't handle the truth, but they need to hear it.
Yeah.
So if you come to me or Sean and you ask me my opinions, my first response is, are you ready for the truth?
Sure?
Are you sure? Don't go cry to your buddy and say Daverick offended me. Because I'll be honest. I'll say it diplomatically correct, but I'm gonna say, hey, bro, this is why.
That's I think that's part. I could probably say that's one great feature for us starting Impactpreneurs in this podcast, and once we really get it moving at a faster, bigger scale, is this is right now. This short episode is probably a big key feature that many people can take away of just understanding accountability, responsibility, showing up, punctuality, being on, because these are the things that determine how far and how big your success is. I don't care what anybody says. You want to get to certain levels in life, you're gonna have to be prepared to consciously make a decision that you're never gonna fall short, no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's
kind of like a do or die mentality.
Some people need that medicine.
Yeah, and like I won't get into it. It'll go into a whole nother story. But I just like I said, I just believe that that's probably one of the things that you and I got attracted to about each other is what we just spoke about, and a big piece of what's going to help make a change and make a difference for some people who see.
Oh yeah, and even the people that we're going to be bringing on the show that they don't even know about. I mean, we're here to impact people's lives. I think a lot of people, they got this show, all they do is talk about themselves. No, we're just getting started.
We're just getting warmed up. This is our preseason right now.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the people we're working on. Sean, I know Sean has some people lined up. I have some. We're brainstorming right now, and the people that will be on this show have impacted thousands and millions of people's lives already.
Yeah.
And so just wait when they come on here, and that's the goal. We want to share that knowledge is power with you, right?
If it's executed.
Absolutely. So we're bringing that to the table.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short episode. I hope you find it valuable. Definitely all I can really suggest out of this is apply what I just spoke about, and you'll 100% see a difference in your life and the people around you and their level of respect you'll get because of how your delivery is if you apply the things that I spoke about.
Right on, man. Hey, and then make sure you subscribe to the channel that we talk about.
Like it, turn on your notifications.
Yes, and share this video.
Share the
Please. And wait till the next episode, as Dr. Dre says.
video. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, peace out.